like the second thing that people should do or stop doing on social media for 2026?
Yeah, so the second thing that I've been thinking about telling people is to stop treating like posting frequency as the main success metric. So the CEO like of Instagram has come out with a lot of content about this lately, like a lot. But it's all about like making sure that your posts are authentic and helpful and entertaining. And so quality, like, or I should say quantity doesn't matter as much as consistent quality content. So posting really good stuff twice a week is way better than sharing, like bad stuff every day. And that's not to say like don't experiment with like, different types of posts, like silly reels or whatever that is. That's not what I'm saying at all. But like, if you're back to our first point, like if you're just like copying and pasting AI content for the sake of just like churning things out and you're not thinking about like, okay, what would be most helpful for my audience? How does this serve my audience? Then it's just not going to do well. And that, I don't know.
That was weird.
That was very strange. Just like a thumbs up somewhere. But so yeah, I would definitely advise people just think a little bit before you post. I mean, you don't have to spend like tons of time on it, of course, because we're busy. Like we don't have, hours to devote to this, but just if we can like, slow down before we speed up a little bit and just think about our intention before we post, I find that gets a lot better results.
Okay. That's interesting that you said that, because I recently decided to, I've always had like a multi-channel approach to marketing, and I was posting a lot on LinkedIn, and reach was just horrible, as it is everywhere. And I think I just got kind of tired. I'm too overwhelmed with so many other, my own platforms and everything else to like read social media content on LinkedIn, comment thoughtfully, because to me, it's like, if I'm going to comment on, and engage with people's content, I read the whole thing. Like I read it and then try to thoughtfully comment. I don't just like scan and just like put a comment just to say, okay, I'm engaging, right? So I decided to kind of deprioritize LinkedIn. And I just said, all I'm going to put out on LinkedIn is my podcast post for the week and my LinkedIn newsletter. And that is it. And I fully expected like to not grow at all. And just the opposite has happened. Like,
that's like, awesome.
I'm not even on that platform that much, but I do post those two things. And like my followers, like, is probably, to me, it's growing faster than when I was posting, let's say 4 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Now I'm posting a lot more on Instagram. I decided to prioritize Instagram primarily because I asked myself, what is the platform that I enjoy most? And I just happen to be very visual. So if I'm going to scroll, like I like, visual things. And the majority of the people that I collaborate with in business are on Instagram, and that's where all of their content is. So, but that being said, I am posting probably 6 days a week on Instagram. And what I'm curious about is, I feel like my content is solid and, good content, but does it hurt? Does it hurt a person to post more on Instagram or any other social platform? Or is it better to just do maybe 2 to 3 posts per week? Like, do you know if the platforms are favoring any one of those, like posting a lot more or posting less?
Yeah. So
granted, content is good, right? Let's just assume content is
good.
Yes.
I have not heard of anyone being penalized for posting, like every day. Now, if it's multiple times a day, then I have heard where the numbers go down. But me personally, what I've seen with my clients, and then like I follow a lot of like the big names, like I haven't heard of that, at least not yet. So, but I always, recommend like experimenting, maybe you try like, a few posts a week for several weeks and just see like how your numbers, like I always tell people to go back to the numbers, go back to the data,